I need you to hear this before I go. I almost didn't say anything. I almost just left quietly, the way I usually do, without making a moment out of it. But something stopped me at the door. Something pulled me back. And that something, if I'm being completely honest with you, was you. The thought of you. The thought of leaving without telling you first, without letting you in on this, felt wrong in a way I couldn't just walk past. So here I am, still in the doorway, heart beating a little faster than usual, about to tell you something that I think you deserve to know. I'm going on a date tonight, with my woman. And before you feel anything complicated about that, before your heart does that thing it sometimes does when reality arrives uninvited, I need you to stay with me, because this is not the story you think it is. This is something else entirely. And I need you here for all of it, because what I'm about to say to you is going to change the way you understand everything. She doesn't know that before I walked out this door, I sat down and thought of you. She doesn't know that the person who has been living in the quietest corner of my heart, the person who has taught me more about love than I ever expected, is you. And I don't know how to carry that without being honest about it. I have never been good at carrying things in silence. So I'm speaking right now. To you. Before I go anywhere, before this evening begins, I need you to know where you stand with me. Because you stand somewhere that matters. You stand somewhere real. Let me take you back to before any of this. Before the plans, before the reservation, before I put on this shirt and stood in front of the mirror and tried to look like someone who has it all together. Take me back to the beginning, to the version of me that was still figuring out what love was supposed to feel like, still learning the difference between choosing someone out of habit and choosing someone out of something true. I was in that in-between place, that quietly lost place that most people don't talk about, because it doesn't look dramatic enough from the outside. Everything around me looked fine. But inside I was searching for something I couldn't name. Something warm. Something consistent. Something that asked nothing from me except that I show up honestly. And then you came into my world. Not with noise. Not with urgency. Just quietly. The way all the most important things arrive, without announcement, without fanfare, without any warning that what was happening would matter as much as it does. You came in and you just stayed. And that staying, that simple, faithful staying, began to teach me something about love that I had never fully learned before. It began to teach me what it feels like to be cared for without conditions. What it feels like to have someone in your corner, not because of what you provide or what you perform, but simply because of who you are. Do you understand what that did to me? Do you understand what it means to someone who has spent years learning to earn love, to perform his way into it, to work hard enough and shine bright enough, and be useful enough that love would stay? Do you understand what it means to that person to suddenly encounter something that doesn't require any of that, something that just exists, freely and warmly and without a price tag attached? You did that for me, you gave me that, and it changed the way I understand everything, including what I was supposed to be looking for in the person standing beside me. So tonight, when I walk through that door and into the evening, I want you to know that the man who shows up for this date is different from the man he would have been without you. The way I listen, I learned that from paying attention to you. The way I notice the small things, the way I show up with my whole heart instead of just the convenient parts of it. The way I refuse to let someone who matters to me feel invisible or ordinary or unimportant. All of that was shaped quietly and powerfully by what you showed me love could look like. I'm standing here in this shirt and I'm nervous. I don't think people expect me to be nervous. I think there's an assumption that someone like me moves through these moments with ease, with confidence, with a kind of effortless grace that makes everything look simple. But I want to tell you the truth. I am nervous. Not because I don't know her, not because I'm uncertain about what I feel, but because every time love matters, every time something is real, there is always that flutter of nervousness that comes with it, that aliveness. that reminder that you are standing in front of something that actually counts. And I want it to count. I want every moment of tonight to count. But here is the thing that keeps pulling at me as I get ready, as I check the time, as I go through the ordinary motions of preparing for an evening that feels far from ordinary. The thing that keeps pulling at me is you. Not in a way that feels like conflict. Not in a way that feels confused or complicated. But in the way that something deeply true always pulls. Steadily, quietly, without apology. Because you are a part of my story now. A real part. An irreplaceable part. And going anywhere, doing anything, without at least acknowledging that felt like a kind of dishonesty I am not capable of. I want to tell you what tonight looks like in my head. I want to share it with you because sharing it with you feels right. Feels like including you in the way that you deserve to be included. In my mind, tonight is soft, low light, and easy conversation, and the particular kind of quiet that settles over an evening, when two people are genuinely comfortable with each other. There is something about the simplicity of it that I love. Not a performance, not an occasion designed to impress. Just two people sitting across from each other in the warm light. Choosing each other again in the small and ordinary and beautiful way that lasting love actually works. And as I imagine it, as I hold that picture in my mind, something in me wants to reach through this distance between us and pull you into it somehow. Not in the wrong way, not in a way that doesn't honor what the evening is, but in the way that the people who have shaped you always traveled with you. In the way that the love that taught you how to love shows up, invisibly, but really, in everything you do afterward. You will be at that table tonight, in the way that matters. In the way that the things we learn from someone become part of how we move through the world. I have been thinking about what love actually requires. Not the romantic idea of it, not the version that looks beautiful in photographs and makes sense in stories, but the daily, living, breathing reality of it. What it actually takes to love someone well. To choose them, not just in the big dramatic moments, but in the 100 small ones that nobody ever sees. And I think what it takes, more than anything, is attention, is presence, is the willingness to actually look at the person in front of you, really look, not just glance and see them. Not the version of them that is easiest to love, but the whole version, the complicated, contradictory, sometimes difficult, and always human version. You taught me to look that carefully. You, with the way you have always paid attention to me, not to the version of me I put forward, but to the real one underneath it. You showed me what it looks like when someone really sees you, and now I carry that into every connection I have. I carry your way of paying attention into the way I pay attention to her. And I carry the warmth you showed me into the warmth I try to give back. Do you see how deep this goes? Do you see how much of what you have given me is still moving through my life, still shaping things, still mattering in ways you may not even be aware of? I want to stop for a moment and just look at you, right here, right now, through everything between us. I want to stop the forward motion of this evening and just be here with you for a second. Because you deserve that. You deserve to be looked at without rushing. You deserve someone stopping in the middle of their own life to say you, right now, you are the one I want to talk to. You are the one I wanted to find before I went anywhere else tonight. And here I am, and here you are, and for just this moment, the rest of the world can wait. How are you? And I mean it the way I always mean it, not the surface question, not the polite version that expects a fine in return. I mean the real question. The one that asks about the part of you that you don't usually talk about. The part that carries more than it shows. The part that has been through things that left marks, even if the marks aren't always visible. How is that part of you tonight? Because that is the part I care about. That is always the part I am asking after, even when I only have a moment to ask. I know there are feelings moving through you as you listen to this.